Crystal Crafts with Dee. I have my next project that I will be working on, getting in the spirit of the holiday season, starting off with Halloween. So very excited to get started on doing some Halloween projects. So I'm starting this paint by number project that I got from ArtCreatLove, and this is, I thought I'd go for something different. Like, I've been going for the 20 by 20 canvases, and I'm like, no, this time I'm going to do something different. And I'm doing these cards. So it's a pack of 4 cards, and they are, like, the card is quite thick. Thinking of the words here. Yeah, quite thick. And there's 2 on each one. So you've got this beautiful castle, the moon and the bat in the background, and those sections look really, really good. They're not too detailed, so I should be able to zing through those pretty quick. That looks pretty awesome. And you've got the moon, the branches, that sort of thing as well, and the dark sky. Now on the back, when I unboxed this, I was a bit surprised because on the back of this card, it's got this stuff on it. So it's got a Christmas thing in that. I'm not concerned about that. I'm going to be cutting them anyway and laminating them once I paint them. So yeah, I'll be cutting them and separating them that way. But that looks pretty good. Really easy to see. Not too much detail. The other 2... got this gorgeous little owl. And the pumpkins in the cauldron, I just love it. How cute is that? Again, not too much detail. You get a little bit in there, but not too much. And then, Boo, this is my favorite one. I just love this. So I'll be hanging these all over the place. But isn't that gorgeous? Again, not too detailed. You just got your little spider web up there. We got some little bits in there. But they're nice and clearly printed. They'll be beautiful and bright and colorful. And again, on the back, you've got this printing. But like I said, I'll be separating them anyway. So they look really, really awesome. And then, what else comes in your kit? Got these beautiful colors. They give you 3 paint brushes, which I will be using, and a hanging kit, and then you've got these gorgeous colors. Purples and oranges, yellow, black. Gorgeous colors. Absolutely beautiful. So I'll be really excited to get started on that, but they look really, really good. So there you go. So that is my next project that I will be working on. This gorgeous Halloween project. These beautiful colors. And one thing too that I love about how you've got these cards is that you've got 4 small projects. So you can sit down and you can get one done, you know, in an hour or 2. And I like that. It's not a project that's going to keep going on for a couple of weeks. So I really, that's what sort of attracted me to the cards as well. So 4 beautiful Halloween cards that I will be getting started on right away. And I will get stuck into these now and follow up with a review video to let you know how I went, how they turned out, and if I had any issues, that sort of thing. So I'm going to jump in and get started, and I'll see you on the other side. Okay, so all finished. I think they turned out really good. I love the colors. They're bright, they're colorful, they're fun. Love the images. Really great little project to do. I had plenty of paints left over, so we'll get to that in a minute. But I'll show you a closer look on these guys here. So I will just put them out of the way, and we'll start with this. So that's the first 2 that I did. So the pumpkins, I think the pumpkins turned out awesome. I love them. I think it's really effective. And then you've got the owl on the cauldron with this little hat. That turned out really well too. I think my favoriteest part is actually these pumpkins. I think they look really good with the shading. I think the pot, I'm not really sure why they've done that, but anyway, that's not too bad. With The owl on this one though, it's got lots of pink in it and orange, and I wasn't really sure how that was going to look, but what I did was I started with the lighter colors first and then built it up by putting the darker colors over top, and by doing that it actually, the black and the dark brown actually pulled it all together, so I was really happy with how that sort of came together. These dots here, I dropped my paintbrush, like, oh my gosh. I just finished doing the hat, it was all done, and I dropped the paintbrush. So I did that a couple of times, but I was able to paint over them, but this one was right when I was done. So anyway, they're staying in there, but I think the owl turned out really effective actually. And then the pumpkins, I love that. Both of these were easy to do. It just got a little bit, fiddly with that spider web in the middle there. That was, I had to use a magnifying glass because I couldn't really see it too well. Actually, I could see the shapes, I couldn't see the numbers. But other than that, yeah, I had no issues. So I thought it came out really, really good. The paint, now the background, I actually went over it 3 times, and you can see it's still a little bit opaque in some areas. I don't mind. I actually just slapped it down and kind of textured a bit. That's kind of how I did that. So I didn't mind a little bit of opaqueness, but you know, if I did it properly, it wouldn't be opaque in those little sections. That was the effect I was sort of going for, but I think that turned out really, really good. So that's those two. And then these ones I cut and did them separately. So I think that turned out really good. And again, I did, the very first thing I did was a moon, and then the pink, and then I kind of built up from there, and then did the darker colors last. And that way, if I needed to correct anything, you know, the darker colors go over the lighter colors. With the white though, like I had a bit of trouble. I've done this moon, it's got 3 coats on it. And you can still kind of see a little bit of that number there. And I did put a fair amount of paint on it, which is interesting because it curled once I did the moon, which I was kind of surprised about. And I know it is sort of papery stuff, and they do put the coating on it to stop it from like going all wet and, you know, curly, but it still curled a bit after I did that. But it was a little bit fiddly with these little bits here. You can make it as detailed as you want to, you know, so if you don't want to do them so detailed, you can make them bigger. It doesn't really matter. But I thought that turned out really effectively. I really like that. Now, I had one issue with the color pink. So the color pink was quite dry. So I added quite a bit of water because it is acrylic. So I added a bit of water and I stirred it up in that, but for some reason it wouldn't mix smooth. So it had little bits, little chunky bits in it. Which wasn't so bad when you're doing like the bigger areas, but when you were doing these little ones, those chunks sort of, I had to try to smooth them out with the paintbrush as I went, and made that a little bit difficult. But out of that many paints, to have one color that wasn't quite right, I'm not all that concerned with. So, and in the end, you can't tell anyway. So, but I thought that turned out really, really good. Really pretty. And then the last one was the moon. Interesting, the others sort of had the full design, and this one, it just has your focus down the bottom, which I really like. And I like the split color in the background, and it is still a little bit opaque in the background, but again, I'm not concerned about that. I don't want it to be absolutely perfect anyway. As you can see, this one curled as well once I did the background. But yeah, I think that turned out really good. I'm assuming they're bats in the background. I love the haunted house stuff. I love all these little, they were a pain actually. Having to go through all those little bits to try and make sure you don't go over the purple, and you know, kind of make it look right. That took me ages. but you know, the effect is there, so, and that's what I wanted. Yeah, I think it turned out really, really good. The moon, yeah, it's kind of yeah, disturbing. I'm not sure what's going on with the teeth with the moon, but hey, it's in the theme of Halloween, so there you go. Yeah, but I thought that turned out really, really good. And the paints were really good. It was just that one color. But yes, there's two of them that sort of curled a bit. But anyway, you know, it doesn't matter. They're going to be sort of flat anyway, so I don't really mind. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I thought they turned out real good. I love the colors. Purple, orange, black, white, yellow. I love it. Very, very effective. Okay, so we'll get on to the, so the paint brushes. Oh, I can pick them up. So the paint brushes, I have these 3 that I used for my other projects. So I didn't open up the new packet because these work perfectly well. I used this one for the background. And then the middle one is the one that I used the most. I didn't even use the little one because I found I could get, you know, it all done with the medium. So that's the one that I used, and that worked for me. And last but not least, the paints. So what was really good about this was that you have, not that one, this one. So you had 2 13s, you had 2 14s. 15 was the pink that was a bit thick and funny. Like the pigments weren't mixed in very well either. But anyway, I got it going, so it's alright. Very well marked. Paints were brilliant. Really, really good, as I said, except for that one. And there was so much left over, it wasn't funny. So there's no issues at all with the amount of paint that you have. And one thing I love, look how many colors of shades of purple there are. I love that. And oranges too. You had 2 of the 4s as well. I only used 1, and it's like half full anyway, so, but there's heaps and heaps left over. And I have actually used some of this for another Halloween project, which I will be doing in a video not too far down the track there. I better get my skates on because Halloween's only, you know, a week or 2 away. So anyway, keep your eyes peeled for that video. But I did use these paints to paint my other project, and there was still lots left over. So well marked, very, very good paints. Just had an issue with number 15. That's it. So there you go. There's my gorgeous Halloween project. Paint by numbers. I'm so glad I got these cards. I found that they were so much easier to do if you sort of don't want a big project with paint by numbers, and you know, you just sort of want to get a little bit done here and there. I found that this sort of size was perfect. So I will most definitely be getting more paint by number projects in this size because they were fun. You had bigger areas to do, and yeah, it didn't take you forever to do it. So and it worked really well. And you can see this one didn't curl. So I'm wondering if I kept those 2 together, would they have curled so much? Maybe cut afterwards. I don't know. Anyway, but there's my beautiful Halloween paint by number projects. So I'd like to thank ArtCreatLove for sending these out to me for review. I absolutely love them. As I said before, thanks to them, I am now hooked on paint by numbers. It's good fun, and you know, it's sort of a little bit stressful when you start because you're trying to get everything perfect, but I just found once you let that go and just roll with it, and oh wow, that's a bit thicker than it was supposed to be, who cares? I found once I did that, I just started really enjoying the process. So if you haven't tried paint by numbers before, this is so much fun. And being acrylics, you wash it up with water. One thing, like when I started, I wasn't sure, do you need a separate paintbrush for each color? I don't know. But all you need to do is, that's why I start with the lighter colors first. So I started with the white, and then when I was done with all the white bits, I washed it out, washed my paintbrush out, dabbed it dry, and then started on with the next color. So that's kind of how I did it. It's nice and easy and quick. So there you go, my beautiful Halloween project from ArtCreatLove. Thank you so much to ArtCreatLove. I will definitely be getting more of these in the future, so keep your eyes peeled for those. And thank you so much for watching my video, and I will catch you next time. Bye!